Alright, what is up everybody? It's your boy, here for Discover Us today. We're diving into Montana, the treasure state, big sky country, wild, rugged, maybe a little bit empty. Welcome to our channel. We're diving into the good and bad of Montana. Whether you're visiting or moving, get a balanced view. Not just glossy postcards, the nitty-gritty. Montana screams different. But different isn't always easy. So let's explore what makes Montana tick. The epic landscapes, the adventures, the challenges. The goal isn't to sell you on Montana, it's to give you the real story. Because big decisions need more than pretty pictures. It requires real talk. So, buckle up, grab a coffee, and let's do this. Let's talk about the mountain in the room. Montana's beauty, it's the real deal. Glacier National Park is awe-inspiring. Google it if you haven't seen it. The raw, untamed wilderness is something else. Going to the Sun Road redefines road trips, and that's just one corner of the state. Everyday views are stunning, mountains erupt from the plains. They don't call it big sky country for nothing. Sunsets and sunrises paint the sky. It makes you pull over and stare. Appreciate the scale and majesty. Montana is like hitting the jackpot. That's how stunning it is. Now, all that stunning natural beauty we just talked about, it's not just for looking at like some museum piece behind glass. Oh no. In Montana, that beauty is an invitation, it's a dare, it's a playground. The outdoor recreational activities here are off the charts. If you're the kind of person who feels cooped up indoors, who needs to move, to explore, to get their hands dirty, then Montana is basically your spiritual home. It's like the state was designed by an adventure committee. Let's start with hiking. You could spend a lifetime on the trails here and barely scratch the surface. From casual strolls along a riverbank to multi-day backpacking trips deep into the wilderness, there's something for every fitness level, every ambition. The trails in places like Glacier or Yellowstone, parts of which are in Montana, remember, are world famous for a reason. But even outside the parks, there are countless local trails, state parks, national forests, all offering incredible scenery and a chance to connect with nature. It's not just exercise, it's exploration. Then there's the water. Fishing in Montana is legendary. We're talking blue ribbon trout streams that attract anglers from all over the globe. Fly fishing here isn't just a hobby, it's an art form, a tradition. So if your idea of a good time involves fresh air, physical challenge, and a healthy dose of adrenaline, Montana is calling your name. Alright, let's switch gears a bit. We've talked about the epic landscapes, the endless adventures, but what about the people? Or more accurately, the of people. Montana has one of the lowest population densities in the entire United States. We're talking about an average of something like 7 people per square mile. 7! In some cities you can find more people in a single coffee shop. This is a huge factor and it cuts both ways, believe me. On the one hand, this low population density means space. Glorious, wonderful, uninterrupted space. If you're tired of crowds, of traffic jams, of feeling like you're constantly bumping into people, Montana can feel like a revelation. You can drive for miles without seeing another car. You can go for a hike and feel like you have the entire mountain to yourself. There's a sense of peace, of quiet, that's increasingly rare in our hyper-connected, overcrowded world. So, you've got all this space, all this quiet. Does that mean everyone in Montana is a hermit, hiding out in a cabin? Not at all. In fact, one of the things you hear over and over again about Montana is the friendliness of the people and the strength of the communities. It's kind of a paradox, right? Fewer people, but maybe stronger connections? It's something I've found to be surprisingly true in places that are a bit more off the beaten path. There's a different kind of social fabric. In many Montana towns, especially the smaller ones, there's a real sense of looking out for one another. People know their neighbors. They show up for local events, whether it's a high school football game, a town festival, or a fundraiser for someone in need. There's a level of civic pride and engagement that can be really heartwarming. Alright, let's talk money, because no matter how beautiful a place is or how friendly the people are, you gotta be able to afford to live there, right? The cost of living in Montana and its housing market, this is where things get a little tricky. It's not a simple, it's cheap or it's expensive kind of answer. It really depends on where you're looking and what you're comparing it to. So, let's try to break it down. Historically, Montana was seen as a pretty affordable place to live, especially compared to the big coastal cities. And in many parts of the state, particularly in the more rural areas and smaller towns, that can still be true. Your day-to-day expenses, things like groceries or utilities, might be lower than what you're used to if you're coming from a high cost of living area. Property taxes, too, can be relatively reasonable in certain counties, which is a big plus if you're looking to buy land or a home. Okay, we've gushed about the beauty, the adventure, the friendly folks. Now let's get real about something that can be a make-or-break factor for a lot of people considering Montana the winters. And I'm not talking about a few cute snowfalls and a bit of crisp air. I'm talking about real winters. Long, cold, snowy, and sometimes downright brutal. If you're not prepared for this, or if you genuinely hate the cold, Montana winters can be a serious challenge. First off, the cold. It can get incredibly cold. We're talking temperatures that regularly dip well below 0 Fahrenheit, especially in certain parts of the state or during cold snaps. And that's before you factor in wind chill, which can make it feel even more Arctic. This isn't just put on an extra sweater cold, this is exposed skin freezes in minutes cold. You need proper gear, serious coats, insulated boots, hats, gloves, thermal layers. It's not optional, it's essential for survival and comfort. Then there's the snow. Montana can get a lot of snow. And it's not just a one-time blizzard, it can snow consistently from late fall through early spring, and sometimes even outside of those windows in the mountains. This means shoveling, lots of shoveling. So, you've decided you can handle the winters, you love the scenery, but what about making a living? This is another critical piece of the puzzle job opportunities in Montana. And much like the cost of living, it's a bit of a mixed bag, heavily dependent on your field, your skills, and where in the state you're looking. The romantic image of being a cowboy or a park ranger is great, but the reality of the job market is more complex. In certain sectors, Montana is doing pretty well. Healthcare is a big employer, as it is in many places, due to an aging population and the need for services across a sprawling state. Tourism obviously is a huge driver of the economy, providing jobs in hospitality, guiding, and retail, though many of these can be seasonal and may not offer high wages or extensive benefits. Construction has also been booming in the high-growth areas, driven by the influx of new residents. However, if your career is in a highly specialized field, particularly in tech, finance, or certain corporate sectors, you might find the opportunities more limited compared to major metropolitan areas. While there's a growing tech scene in places like Bozeman and Missoula, and remote work has opened up possibilities, the sheer number and variety of high-paying specialized jobs just isn't the same as in a big city. You might need to be more flexible, more entrepreneurial, or secure remote work before making the move. Montana's wide open spaces mean fewer urban amenities. Expect limited shopping, dining, and entertainment options. Essentials are covered, but variety is scarce. Cities like Bozeman offer great local dining. Entertainment is more community-focused. We've talked about the low population density and the lack of urban amenities. Let's drill down a bit more into the specific challenges that can come with rural living in Montana, because it's not just about missing your favorite sushi place. Living far from population centers, often surrounded by vast stretches of land, comes with a unique set of practical considerations that demand a certain level of preparedness and self-reliance. This is where the romantic ideal meets the often harsh reality. Access to healthcare is a big one. While Montana has excellent medical facilities in its larger cities, if you live in a remote rural area, the nearest hospital or specialist could be hours away. This is a serious consideration, especially for those with chronic health conditions, families with young children, or older individuals. Emergency response times can also be longer. You learn to be more proactive about your health and to have a plan for when things go wrong. Okay, last but definitely not least, let's talk about something that's both a huge draw and a potential source of, well, let's call it excitement in Montana, the wildlife. This state is teeming with incredible animals: elk, deer, moose, bighorn sheep, pronghorn. Seeing them in their natural habitat is an awe-inspiring experience. But Montana is also home to predators like bears, grizzly and black, mountain lions and wolves. And sharing your backyard with these creatures comes with responsibilities and potential dangers. First off, bears. Grizzly bears in particular are a significant presence in western Montana, and their range is expanding. If you're hiking, camping, or even just living in bear country, you must be bear aware. This means knowing how to store food properly, carrying bear spray and knowing how to use it, making noise on the trail, and understanding bear behavior. Encounters are rare if you take precautions, but they can happen, and you need to be prepared. It's not just a suggestion, it's a serious safety issue. Mountain lions or cougars are also widespread, though they're elusive and rarely seen. They're powerful predators, and while attacks on humans are extremely rare, it's important to be aware, especially if you have small children or pets, and particularly at dawn or dusk in areas where lions are known to roam. So, there you have it, Montana. The good, the bad, the beautiful, the challenging. It's a state of incredible contrast, a place that demands resilience. It's definitely not for everyone, and that's okay. Montana offers unparalleled access to nature and a strong sense of community. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more from Discover US. See you in the next video.